The person you are least attracted to at first might be the most compatible partner for you in the long run. This is a confusing and often frustrating idea. We are taught to trust our gut, to follow the spark, to look for that instant, undeniable chemistry. But what if that powerful feeling of attraction is not a reliable guide? What if your gut is simply leading you toward what is familiar, even if what is familiar is a cycle of pain and disappointment? If you find yourself dating the same kind of person over and over, only to arrive at the same unhappy ending, you are not stuck. You are not broken. You are experiencing a very common psychological pattern. This video is an exploration of that pattern. We will look at the psychology of our attraction patterns and understand why breaking up with your type might be the most important step you can take toward a healthy, fulfilling connection. This is about learning to consciously choose a partner who is good for you, not just familiar to you. To understand why we get stuck in these loops, we need to explore a concept known as repetition compulsion. This is the unconscious tendency to repeat situations, relationships, and emotional dynamics from our past. It is often a subconscious attempt to gain mastery over an old wound or to finally fix an unresolved story, usually one from our childhood. Your type is often not a reflection of your conscious desires for a partner. Instead, your type is frequently a stand-in for an unresolved emotional pattern from your past. For example, if you had a parent who was emotionally unavailable, you might find yourself repeatedly drawn to partners who are distant and hard to connect with. The unconscious mind is not seeking pain. It is seeking resolution. It is thinking, this time I will get the distant person to love me. This time I will fix the old story. The problem is that we are often drawn to people who are uniquely unsuited to help us heal that wound, precisely because they fit the original pattern so well. Your attraction mechanism is not broken. It is simply calibrated to an old map that no longer leads to the destination you want. This brings us to our first crucial insight: the difference between familiarity and safety. Our nervous systems are wired for survival, and a primary survival instinct is to seek what is familiar. The brain operates on a simple principle. If it's familiar, we have survived it before. Therefore, on some deep level, it must be safe. But the brain's definition of safe is not the same as our heart's definition of happy. If your emotional home in childhood was chaotic or unpredictable, then calm and stability will feel unfamiliar. This is why your nervous system can mistake the anxiety and unpredictability of an unhealthy dynamic for chemistry. That feeling of being on the edge of your seat, of not knowing what they'll do next, creates a cocktail of stress hormones that we mislabel as a spark. It feels intense, so we think it must be love. By comparison, a secure and consistent partner who communicates clearly and shows up reliably can feel boring. The absence of anxiety is so unfamiliar that our brain flags it as a problem. Learning to choose a healthy partner is a process of teaching our nervous system that calm is the new safe. A second common pattern is the fixer fantasy. Many people find that they are consistently attracted to partners who they see as projects. They are drawn to someone's potential, to the person they could be if they just had the right love and support. This is often another form of repetition compulsion. It's a way to reenact a dynamic where you had to earn love through caretaking. Perhaps you had to be the responsible one as a child, managing a parent's emotions or problems. As an adult, you are unconsciously drawn to partners who allow you to replay that role. The fantasy is that if you can just fix them, you will finally feel worthy of love. This is different from genuine support in a healthy relationship. In the fixer fantasy, the relationship is built on an imbalance from the start. Your value feels tied to your ability to save them. A healthy partner does not need you to be their therapist or their parent. They need you to be their partner. Breaking this pattern means learning to be attracted to people who are already whole, not to people who you see as a project to be completed. This leads to a practical but often challenging idea: dating your opposite pattern. To get a different result, you have to be willing to make a different choice. This can feel unnatural and deeply uncomfortable at first. For example, if you have an anxious attachment style, you might be used to the chase in relationships. You are drawn to partners who create a bit of distance, which activates your pursuit system. A secure partner who is consistent, available, and clear in their intentions can feel unexciting. There's no chase. A conscious experiment is to deliberately give a chance to someone who seems slow and steady, even if the initial firework-like chemistry is not there. It's about choosing to explore a connection with someone who embodies the qualities you say you want, even if they don't trigger the familiar feelings you're used to. This is not about forcing yourself to be with someone you have no connection with. It's about staying open long enough to see if a different kind of attraction, one built on safety and respect, can grow. So how do we put this into practice? We start by engaging our conscious mind in the dating process. A powerful tool is the values, not feelings checklist. Before you go on a date, take 5 minutes to write down 3 to 5 core values that you genuinely need in a partnership. These are non-negotiable qualities. Examples might be kindness, consistency, curiosity, or emotional maturity. Then, during the date, your job is to be a detective for these values. Instead of just tracking the intensity of your spark, you are consciously looking for evidence. How do they talk about their coworkers? That's data on kindness. Do they follow through on what they say they'll do? That's data on consistency. The goal is to shift your focus from the intoxicating but unreliable signal of chemistry to the much more reliable data of character. This uses your thinking brain to balance out the automatic pull of your old patterns. A second practice is to try the 3-date experiment. This is a commitment you make to yourself. If you meet someone who doesn't fit your usual type, but who seems to be a genuinely good person, who demonstrates your core values, you commit to going on 3 dates with him. This is true even if the initial spark doesn't feel explosive. The first date is often a performance. We're all nervous. The real connection often begins to show on the second or third meeting. This experiment gives a potential connection enough time to breathe. It allows for a slower, more secure form of attraction to possibly develop. After 3 dates, if there's still no connection, you can move on with no regrets. But you might be surprised to find that the person who seemed merely nice on the first date starts to become genuinely attractive as you feel safer and more seen in their presence. To find a different result, you have to be willing to make a different choice. This can feel scary. It requires a leap of faith. It starts with becoming aware of your patterns without judgment. It continues with the brave decision to walk toward a connection that feels safe, even if it's less familiar than the storms you've weathered in the past. True, lasting intimacy is rarely built on the lightning strike of initial chemistry. It's built on the slow, steady rise of mutual trust, respect, and shared values. What is one familiar pattern in attraction that you might be willing to question?